But when you see the progress that a person makes because of a connection they have with an animal, and you see how that actually benefits their entire life, it literally makes every hard day of scraping for money and hard labor in the barn totally worth it. And like, those are the powerful moments. So today we are actually celebrating ASPCA's Help a Horse Day with a unicorn festival fundraiser for our nonprofit, which is the Big Purple Barn. And this kind of day allows us to introduce ourselves to the community and rally their support around us. One day, this lovely woman came into my driveway and said, I have a son on the autism spectrum. We just came from Kennedy Krieger from one of his appointments, and they suggested that he do some horseback riding. And she said, I've been to several other farms, nobody will take him. And I said, I have never worked with a child with autism. I do, however, have a fantastic horse who anybody can ride. And if you're willing to work with me, I'm willing to work with you. And she was like, don't worry, you can't break him.
He didn't talk until he was around 3. And so when we started here, he was verbal, but the interpersonal relationships, he had a hard time. And usually people on the autism spectrum have a hard time with even eye contact. It affected him specifically where he's more personable. He speaks to people that he doesn't know. The barn manager here actually cried the day that Robert looked her in the eye the first time.
It was not difficult to deal with him. He really enjoyed patterns, and horses love patterns. They like routine. They like things to be the same. Robert liked the same thing. He enjoyed the riding. And literally now, 12 years later, I think it is now, he's graduating from high school, and you almost can't tell that he's on the spectrum.
Well, the thing I like most is the people. All the people are really nice, and I really like the horses, but the people are the best part. Everyone's so kind. It's almost like a second family, almost. Not too much, or that'd be weird. Miss Tara basically owns a zoo. She has every animal. I bet she's going to get 2 of every animal and put them on an ark. All of them are loved equally.
They can take whatever love you're giving out, and they're not going to be intimidated by it. And they do show love in return.
And a lot of people with special needs need that. They just need that animal to exist with them and share whatever they're feeling in that moment. It's really critical for them to have that like non-judgmental space where they can just be themselves.
I would recommend it for everybody. Everybody needs some kind of therapy at some point or another during their life. Being here has definitely helped all of my children. It's their second home away from home because they know that this is a place where you're not going to be turned away based on your color, based on your religion. If you have one ear, there's a one-ear horse here. If you're blind, there is a horse here that has just one eye. If you've been abused or abandoned, so is half the horses here. And so they're still loved and they're welcomed. And so will people.